What's going on, guys? Montages HD here, as most of you guys probably already know. So we are now 4 days away from the launch of Destiny. And honestly, like I said, I've said it many times, I think Destiny has been the best beta I've ever played. Now, with the best beta ever being played, there's some concerns about this, because there's been another beta in the past, even this year actually, that's had an amazing beta and the game turned out to be almost the complete opposite of it. And the game that I'm talking about that you rarely ever hear people talking about anymore, or playing, or anything like that in general, is Titanfall. And it's scary because Titanfall, a couple months ago, we rewind back, and Titanfall had one of the best betas ever. I mean, you know, the numbers don't lie usually. They had an open beta at the end of the, couple days after everybody was invited. They ended up making it an open beta. And one of the things that is very unusual when you have a beta, usually you have a couple people complaining about stuff. Titanfall wasn't like that at all. Almost nobody complained about it. Everybody loved it. Because we all thought at the time that, this was only a little bit of it. You only had a couple guns, couple classes, couple titans. And, in the full game, you were expecting that there was a lot more to it. You weren't going to have every single class unlocked in the actual beta. And that was a very worrying concern when everybody got on Titanfall and realized, there's like 10 guns and there's no, real incentive, I should say, to level up in this game. Titanfall definitely had no purpose. I mean, yeah, there was like 10 prestiges, took about 6 hours each to get, but there was no achievement. You didn't unlock any new guns, you didn't have anything like that. It was basically you get thrown in there and had a leveling system. And Destiny this week has been responding that this isn't going to be the case with Destiny. The reason that Titanfall failed was because after a couple days, couple hours, maybe even a couple minutes, everybody was already bored of the game because there was nothing to do. I mean, you had no incentive to play, you had no point or purpose to gain levels, and it was just pretty much like a private match at that point on any other game. It was all having fun, but there was really no reward or anything for, spending time into the game. And that's what killed the game. Well, here is the best part. This problem will not happen in Destiny because they've already commented that, with all the amount of customization, all the drops that are going to be happening, all the different weapons, all the, endless ideas of customization and everything, the game's almost never going to end, they've said, They said that it's going to take a very long time for somebody to actually complete the game 100% and have everything unlocked. And that brings a lot of hope to Destiny, because after the beta, I had many concerns, We're getting closer and closer to the launch of the game, and we're still kind of stuck wondering if, there's not going to be any incentive to level up on this game, similar to Titanfall. And with them finally commenting and saying that this game is going to be very hard to beat, it's pretty much never going to have 100% completion, nobody will be able to do that, it's pretty much endless, really makes me happy, because Titanfall had a lot of potential, and I feel like them not doing a couple things and getting lazy toward the end of it, maybe they didn't have enough time, maybe they ran out of time or money during the development processes, who really knows what happened, but it just seems like such a great idea, everything was going good, and all of a sudden at the last couple minutes, everything kind of fell apart when the game was launched, and with them finally announcing, I mean, this was just really recent that they announced that this game is pretty much going to be endless amount of, entertainment. I'm very not concerned anymore, It brings ease to me when I know that I have YouTube in the background and I need content to post, and having a game that doesn't end after 10 hours is wonderful. Not only for just YouTubers, but gamers alike. Every gamer wants a game that they can spend some time on and not have to, after, 5 days, buy a new DLC to unlock guns that should have been in the game in the first place. And, that's one of the great things about Destiny. I think it's definitely going to be the game changer. I thought it was going to be with the Titanfall, but, Titanfall didn't get their act together, unfortunately, If they would have added some more guns, some new Titans, more customization, it could have been a different story. But I definitely think Destiny has taken advantage of Titanfall's flaws and, used it toward their advantage to fix all the problems that Titanfall had to make sure that their game is taking that place. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me go ahead and hear your guys' thoughts on this entire situation, the previous Titanfall game, and the Destiny beta. Until next time, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name, of course, is Montages HD. Remember to hit the like rating if you guys can. It really does help me a lot. But until next time, I'm MultiKillsHD, and I'm out. Peace.